A set of Department of Homeland Security memorandums released Tuesday reveal that President Trump has declared an open season on the deportation of undocumented immigrants. The department will no longer exempt classes or categories of removable aliens from potential enforcement, one document says. They also expanded Immigration and Customs Enforcement's ability to basically capture and raid people, right? So now Immigration and Customs Enforcement's ability, they will basically, there's no bounds to it, right? They're going to hire 10,000 new border agents, right? They're basically saying there's no protected classes, even though they also made it very clear that their focus is going to be on those who have committed crimes.
Right.
But they're also looking at those who have been here for up to 2 years. Like, they're gone.
Right.
So they're going to break. I mean, but I will say this. The president has indicated that he will, to his credit. Barely, right? He's indicated that he will, save those folks who are DACA people. Now, while the documents indicate that their priority remains those who have been convicted of crimes, this seems to be another attempt by Donald Trump to push forward mass deportations. Richard.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I'm just not seeing I just don't see the numbers behind his decision and why this is so important. You're going to spend billions of dollars basically ramping up immigration, spending money on that. You're going to have to build detention facilities to put these people in.
Hello.
You're hurting the economy because undocumented workers, by and large, work.
They are, like I said earlier in the show, they are literally the farming industry of America sits on their shoulders.
Right.
Point blank, period.
I mean, it literally makes no sense. And I just don't understand. I mean, to me, it can only be hate because there's not a fiscal, I don't see where the bottom line is, where we're saving money, we're bringing back jobs for America. I mean, these jobs are available and Americans don't want to do them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. The white college-educated folks who are still with Donald Trump, they do not. I guarantee you, they can't last a day in a tomato field picking tomatoes. Which is literally
in Florida, like that's what's going on.
Which is literally back-breaking work, and you get paid like $100 a bucket.
And that's sad.
Or a day, it's like $10 a bucket.
I mean, honestly, like these people should be
paid a lot more
money to do that. And the fact that we exploit that labor is a problem in and of itself. And now we're saying, get out, we don't need you, and we definitely do.
Yeah, and what makes it even worse is that these deportations, like you're really putting these people in harm's way, right? And there's an argument to be had for that, and I think you'll see this play itself out in the courts when it comes to political asylum. Because say, for example, if you're from Honduras, the deportation agents really only have to bring you to Tijuana and be like, bye.
Yep, here's the door.
And that could cause death, it could cause gangs, and so there is going to be a conversation, because people are going to, what's going to happen is these the immigration lawyers are like, wait a minute, this now that you've been deported or you're getting ready to be deported, you qualify for political asylum.
Right.
Boom. Gotcha.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. And unfortunately, I think we're going to see over the next 4 years a situation where this is like the next big civil rights issue.
Absolutely.
Because people don't understand like what actually goes into deporting someone and the havoc it causes on communities, on families. It costs resources for America. I mean, there are just so many logistical things. I mean, and then you have the issue of like people are undocumented, they're worried about getting deported, and then they start to get desperate, and then crimes start happening because you tell someone, I'm taking you away from your wife and children. People do strange things when they're under that kind of pressure.
Yeah, and no, I think you're absolutely right. And
it just doesn't help.
And I think it's sickening. We'll continue to follow us on the show. We will, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I'll be very honest, and maybe I'm one of those progressives that are not there. I'm not there yet. Like, I understand the need for sanctuary cities, but I think sanctuary cities, in my opinion, exist because we have seen a federal government do nothing on immigration reform. We have a broken immigration system. So I don't agree with sanctuary cities, but I think sanctuary cities only exist in a world where there's an absence of federal authority.
Sure.
And deportations is not the federal authority answer that I'm looking for.
No, I mean, deportations are the thing that you try to do as a last-ditch effort. And listen, don't get me wrong. The Obama administration deported people in record numbers. I mean, they were not rolling that back by any means. But what we're seeing from Donald Trump with the plans to hire additional agents, to build detention centers, to spend taxpayer dollars on more capacity to deport people is a step in the wrong direction. Like we're thinking about like cure for a problem that could be prevented in the future by legislation.
As my mother,
rational thought.
as Pauline would say, we should have a segment as Pauline would say, or we could have a segment as Inga would say, the two mothers of the Fowler show. But as Pauline would say, prevention, America, is 10 times better than cure.
And we are terrible at that. I mean, I got to tell you, it's currently 75 in February in Washington, D.C., and we're seeing heat records being broken all across the country right now, and we are not going to see any movement on climate change from us for at least the next 4 years.
No.